Good morning. This Wednesday, as we look ahead to our epistle reading for Reformation Day. As we usually are on Reformation Day, we are in the book of Romans, chapter 3, as we talk about justification by faith. Our verses are 19 through 28, and there's a little bit more outside of that in context that we'll read. We'll start at verse 9 and end through 31, which is the end of chapter 3. What then? Are we Jews any better off? No, not at all, for we have already charged that all, both Jews and Greeks, are under sin. As it is written, none is righteous, no, not one. No one understands, no one seeks God. All have turned aside, together they have become worthless. No one does good, not even one. Their throat is an open grave, they use their tongues to deceive. Their venom of asps is under their lips. Their mouth is full of curses and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. And their paths are ruin and misery, and the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now we know that whatever the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be stopped. This is the start of our verses. And the whole world may be held accountable to God. For by works of the law no human being will be justified in his sight, since through the law comes knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of God has been manifest apart from the law, although the law and the prophets bear witness to it. The righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. For there is no distinction. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified by his grace as a gift, through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God put forward as a propitiation by his blood, to be received by faith. This was to show God's righteousness, because in his divine forbearance he had passed over former sins. It was to show his righteousness at the present time, so that he might be just and justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus. Then what becomes of our boasting? It is excluded. By what kind of law? By a law of works? No, by the law of faith. For we hold that one is justified by faith apart from works of the law. Or is God the God of the Jews only? Is he not the God of the Gentiles also? Yes, of Gentiles also. Since God is the one who will justify the circumcised by faith and the uncircumcised through faith, do we then overthrow the law by this faith? By no means. On the contrary, we uphold the law. So we see an explanation of justification by faith, not by works, the central tenet of the Reformation, but one we need constant reminding of because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for our lives, our reason, how we go about things. We want good to result in good and bad to result in bad. The issue with that is we tend to think of ourselves and many people as good, even though before the law we are all unrighteous. That's why the context, as we saw the beginning of those verses in chapter 9, are so important. It says, no one is righteous, not one. We've all fallen short. But this is a topic of justification, or how we are reconciled, how we are made at peace. Our sin, because we are unrighteous, has destroyed the peace between us and God. By our account, we turned away. We angered God with our actions and our sin. And justification is how that is reconciled, how that is made even. The term used in the epistle is propitiation. That's a legal term. That is, there was a penalty, there was a debt to be paid, and it has been paid by another. The debt has been paid by Jesus Christ. That this is how we are at peace with God. This fundamentally changes our relationship with God and others. That this peace has been made not because of anything we have done, but because of the working of Jesus Christ. It doesn't eliminate the law. The law is still good. The law is still imposed on us. We should still follow the law, and we still need to follow the law, even though we've been made at peace with God. But that peace comes by the work of Jesus Christ. and by faith in what he has done, not in what we have done. A reminder in the Reformation, a reminder on Reformation Day, that we always need in our life, that our faith might be in Christ and not in ourselves. I hope to see you this Sunday. Go in peace and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.